I'm Paige, the host of Reverie True Crime. I tell stories of helpless victims, vicious killers, predators watching their prey before they strike, survivors, petty crimes, people we think we know who do the unthinkable, and the dangers that lurk not only in the dead of night, but in plain sight and the light of day. Every once in a while, I'll also tell stories of the frightening paranormal, elusive cryptids, haunted locations, and conspiracies that may be silly or thought-provoking. You can listen to Reverie True Crime wherever you're listening to this podcast. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at Reverie Crime Pod, Facebook, Instagram, and even Tumblr at Reverie True Crime. Remember, stay safe, be aware of your surroundings at all times, and take care.
How many cups of coffee have you had today?
A lot.
Can you give me that in numbers?
A lot, teen, a lottie, 30 a lot.
I'm sure you pee brown at this point. I'm getting a little concerned.
It's more of a beigeish, taupe yellow. It's the clarity. It's
Have you heard of vial beans?
Oh my god, yes, and I hound dog them like nobody's business.
You would so love their coffee. They have brand names after fictional characters like Jason Voorhees, and also animated villains and serial killers.
You mean to tell me that we roast serial killers, and technically, so do they? Do they roast their own serial killers? I mean beans? Do they roast their own beans?
Yes, it's like a match made in hell for true crime community.
I'm eyeing the Monster coffee. That one's an original roast, and that one's right up my alley, with the half and half, all that.
I'm looking at the Cinnabundy. That one seems to be a nice Cinnabon flavor without the sugar. I wonder if Ted Bundy smelled like that when they executed him by electrocution.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that dude smelled pretty bad when he died.
Enough about that. We have a promo code. If our listeners go to vialbeans.com and use the promo code Nefarious15, they get 15% off every purchase.
Dude, that's dope. Gonna go run, not walk, and order some of that coffee, but I'm also gonna give my cheesy sign off now for this ad.
Go for it.
By all means, vile beans. Content warning. This episode includes foul language and discussion of violence. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey.
Hey.
R. Kelly is finally getting thrown in prison.
Yes, I heard about that. Those minors he abused are finally getting their justice, and that's exciting.
Yes.
Yes.
And he can no longer pee on people.
I mean, we're not here to kink shame. I'll say it like this. It's kind of like incest and cannibalism. If you're, pissing on people, it's not going to stop me from being your friend.
Yeah, we get it. Nothing in common. Nothing to talk about. You do you, boo.
I am so glad that you listen to me when I express my open-minded way of seeing what people choose to do.
Cannibalism, though?
Yeah, what if people are stranded on an island and they're hungry?
Hey, so Brian Laundrie's mom called 911 on Dog the Bounty Hunter.
She would. I saw that shit. How do you, really? Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, call 911 on the Dog the Bounty Hunter. You keep your mouth shut when your son's girlfriend magically goes missing and is later found deceased. That's top-notch parenting.
Top fucking notch. And he wants to find Brian alive. That should be enough. These people are clearly trying to fame monger.
Poor Gabby. I really, truly hope she gets justice.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Hey, did you see that TikTok of the one clairvoyant man? I remember sending you that video, actually. But
I did.
Yeah, I think he was talking to her through an ovilus, I think that's what it's called.
Yes, it was creepy.
It was, and that voice, it even kind of sounded like Gabby, didn't it?
It did.
I usually don't freak out about the TikTok clairvoyance, but that one kind of gave me some goosebumps. That was a couple of days ago, and I'm still thinking about that.
That's a good book series. R.L. Stein, sponsor us. Come on.
Goosebumps. Anyway, so we have a guest today.
Who? Who is it, Courtney? Who is it? Who is it?
I'm waiting for you to get really pissed, like angry.
Who is it?
It's Crystal Jones. She's the one that submitted that tiny terror a few episodes back. She had the sound and everything, that creepy sound. You remember that? So yeah, there's that. We're gonna interview her, and she's gonna join us in on our fun. We're gonna have like a kumbaya session, and we're gonna poke some smut and ink some alcohol.
Ooh.
No, we're not gonna do any of that. We're just gonna talk.
Oh, okay. Darn. All right. So guess I'm gonna close this intro out, huh?
Yep.
All right then. Welcome to a Masterful Magician.
So, Amanda.
Yes, ma'am.
I kind of want to open this up because I am thinking about Activia, but we'll talk about it in a minute. I went to our Facebook profile page, whatever it is, and you know how you were so kind to actually promote that one Pazuzu post, which thank you, by the way. It's like teamwork makes the dream work. Did you just kiss at me?
Mwah.
Mwah. But anyways, I was looking at some of the comments on there, and I mean, they weren't really openly dissing us. They were dissing the Vice documentary, and I just gotta say something. If you are a fucking sympathizer over a serial killer, you can go fuck yourself. Because honestly, we are a true crime podcast. Obviously, these people have not listened to the episodes where we say we roast serial killers and marshmallows. Like we're doing. I mean, do y'all not hear the crickets and the fire that I put into Audacity? But anyway, Pazuzu is a piece of shit, and I stand by that. I will not glorify a serial killer. I will definitely remember the victims. So to those of you that are like, oh, I knew Pazuzu, he was such a good man, I assure you that his victims are saying otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. Screw off.
Animals.
So, oh, and we have a guest.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Hi, ladies.
So, let me introduce Crystal a bit. So, Crystal Jones, you guys have actually heard a little bit from Crystal Jones when we had a Tiny Terrors installment a couple of episodes ago. And she was the one that submitted her story, and also we had correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like the EVP sound that we heard that gave me, tongue hair goosebumps.
Yeah, the one that says, I did.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh yeah,
that shit was awesome. Speaking of shit, prior to recording, we were talking about how regular I am, and I was talking about how I wanted to use a type of probiotic called Culturelle because it's bougie and it might make my bougie butt bougier. And we are not sponsored by Culturelle, which is totally fine. I would love that because I need those probiotics. But before I said something about Culturelle, I said something about Culturelle. Crystal, what was it that you said to me?
I said, isn't that stuff that Jamie Lee Curtis takes?
It's close enough.
I was dying when she said that. I thought Okay, so y'all know by now how my mind works. I will look at words and create other words. Like somebody had said nifty or something, and I thought they said nipples, and I was like, what? So when she said Jamie Lee Curtis, first of all, I was like, that's Activia the yogurt. But then I had this envision. What the fuck? I had this vision of a turkey baster with Culturelle yogurt.
Ew! Ew! Do not bring it back to the Pappins.
And
you can't get over that turkey baster.
Ooh!
No, man. Maybe it's some kind of deep-seated desire. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But but here's the funny thing. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis, like, I mean no disrespect to her. She's a beautiful, handsome woman. But, like, the way she's shaped kind of like a Q-tip to me. And so I kind of, like, imagined her head at the end of the turkey baster.
Oh, my God.
Believe it or not, guys.
To me tonight.
Do what?
What are you doing to me tonight?
I'm trying to... Dude, listen. It's been a tough couple of fucking weeks, all right? We're still dealing with the disappearance of that hiding shitbag Brian Laundrie. Brian Dirty Laundrie bitch-ass fuck boy.
I just wake up every day thinking that they've caught him by now.
God,
Did y'all see that Dog the Bounty Hunter's going after him now?
Yeah.
Yes. Did you know his mom called 911 on him? Dude. What a bitch-made motherfucker. Not Dog. I don't really know much about the Dog the Bounty Hunter except that he's got like a majestic fucking mullet, but like, my God.
He just got remarried.
Oh, good for him. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about him. Isn't he like a tow truck guy? Doesn't he tow people?
No. He's a bounty hunter. Dog the Bounty Hunter.
But doesn't he have a tow truck?
Why would the bounty hunter have a tow truck?
I don't know. I think every person that I've seen with a tow truck has like a majestic mullet. Maybe, I don't know. I wonder if Jamie Lee Curtis... No, she doesn't have a mullet, but I wonder if Billy Ray Cyrus has a tow truck and is a bounty hunter.
I don't think so. My nephew has a mullet.
Does he have a tow truck?
No. Surprisingly not.
Okay, your nephew's not like 6
keep making fun of his mullet.
He's not like 6 or anything, is he? Okay,
No,
because if he was, that would be weird if he had a tow truck. So, Crystal?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to explain to everybody real quick because I don't want to go too far off topic like we already have. I think we've spent like 30 minutes talking about poop. But I would like to kind of let me let everybody know how I know you. Crystal and I both work together in something akin to prison. I will not name the name of the place. It's actually, I give it a lot of problems, but it's really not that bad of a place. You know, you have your good days and your bad days just like everywhere. But I met Crystal outside while we were in the smoking area, not smoking because we don't smoke at all. And totally kidding, I smoke. But I saw that she had a Cowboys from Hell tattoo on her arm, and I was like, that's fucking badass. She's one of my own. So I really tried to really impose myself on this poor woman, and I kind of just forced myself into this woman's life, and I thank you for letting me impose into your life, Crystal. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
She's a big fan of our podcast. She also is real big into some stuff. I'm gonna let Amanda kind of dig into that one.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Me. Hi. Okay, so you're just throwing me under the bus here, by the way.
I sure the fuck am. That's what we do on the Nefarious Nightmares. We throw each other under the bus.
You're talking about having ADD.
Yep.
I was over here thinking about
squirrels.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. That's where it was.
Okay.
Sorry. So, Crystal, tell us about yourself. No. No, so, what kind of stuff do you do? Can you explain it a little bit better than us?
I'm a paranormal investigator.
Right on. I've been calling you also a spiritualist. Am I right in that, or am I totally incorrect?
I am pagan.
Okay. So is spiritualist pretty much the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So give us a little bit of an idea of how you incorporate your paranormal investigations with spiritualism. She's like, what?
I mean, before we leave, the people that, if you think something is going to attach to you, like some of them will like sage themselves after we leave a place.
Right.
But me, sage makes me sick, so they got to use Palo Santo wood.
Okay.
But
Nice.
and then sometimes when people need help getting things out, we help them by banishing.
All right.
Okay.
So, does sage make you sick? Because no, I'm kidding. You knew where I was going.
Hey, I told you about what happened to me at that house. It could be.
Oh my God, that shit was crazy. So, real quick thing, I'm not going to get too much into Crystal's story because this is about Crystal. But I did kind of identify with her because back in the day, I actually had a really mysterious, like, I wouldn't say it was a scratch. It was more like a cut on the back of my leg. I showed it to you. I still have the scar to it. It was a deep cut. It probably should have needed stitches. But it was as if somebody took a razor blade or box cutter and cut me on the back of my leg while I was asleep.
I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, I woke up the next day thinking, why does my leg itch so bad? And I thought that there was like a piece of like candy wrapper or something stuck to my leg. But it was that cut.
Oh.
And there was nobody that could have done that unless I woke up one night and decided, hey, I'm going to sleepwalk to this knife drawer and cut myself. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. No.
Shit was weird, but I was going through some pretty wicked times at that point. So I wouldn't be surprised if I might have been under some kind of like an evil or demonic type of attack. So yeah, there was that. That was how Crystal and I bonded. We bonded over evil.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll see you in hell, girl. No, I'm kidding.
I'll be sitting there next to my father.
Aw, me too.
I don't know about you guys. I have the halo.
She does. She has the halo. I'm just here with my.
You're sitting on the other shoulder.
Yeah, with my incense. Wait, why did I say incense? I meant to say probiotics. I'm still on the.
I don't know which sounds worse.
Speaking of incense, Crystal, I do have a question.
Yo.
So, Nag Champa, right? Are you familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, obviously you're familiar because Nag Champa just smells fucking amazing.
It does.
Does that have any kind of property? Because back when I used to practice, I used to use Nag Champa all the time, not because it had any kind of property, but because it smelled fucking good. Does it have a protective property to it?
It can. I mean, if you will it to be so, it can. Yes.
Okay. What about frankincense and myrrh? Because that's another one I liked because it smelled good. I used to love the smell.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that would be a good one? And if you were trying to if you did not want to use sage, if you wanted to maybe go on one of those, what is it? I would say, what is the word that I'm trying to come up with? Somebody that's new at something.
A newbie, greenhorn?
Sure, why not? We'll go with it. I was trying to think of something like amateur. Amateur is the word.
Amateur.
So if you're an amateur paranormal investigator, instead of using sage, could you potentially use either Nag Champa or frankincense and myrrh?
You could, but it's if sage, if you can't get it done by sage like me, it gives me a headache.
Right.
The Palo Santo is the next best thing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that Palo Santo because
it looks just like a stick of wood, and you just light it on fire and just douse yourself with it.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Amanda, do you have anything else?
So, Courtney was telling me that you just met Corey Taylor.
I sure did.
Tell us.
Tell me.
Well, I mean, he was a big bucket list. I never thought in a million years I'd be able to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
And he came to Texas Frightmare a couple weekends ago, and I got to meet him. Thought I was going to die and pass out, but he's such a cool guy that he just instantly chilled you out and was talking to you. I mean, he's just such a nice guy.
Aww.
Super nice. Like some girls had some therapy dogs. He was on the floor playing with their dogs. And, yeah, it was really cool. And then I had him sign my leg, and I got it tattooed on my leg.
Oh, how cool!
It's fucking awesome.
So Corey Taylor owns me now, but that's okay.
Aw. Well, it's funny because like whenever that happened, I saw your pictures. You looked like normally I see you at work, and I mean we're all fucking miserable there. But then I saw the picture of you next to Corey Taylor, and it was a whole different person. I was like, wow, she is ecstatic over this, and that's great. I'm very happy for you, dude.
That's so awesome.
Now I need to go like officially meet Tech 9 because he is my bucket list, and I almost met him once, but then I got really nervous because it's Tech 9.
Yeah.
So instead I went and gave Chris Calico a hug. Which he's just as good, but I mean I was a lot more comfortable around Chris Calico because I was like, you are just a beautiful man. And he's like, oh bitch, come here, give me a hug. I was like, but I really want to say this to Tech 9 also. So
maybe one day.
And another thing that made Corey really cool is like whenever you got to meet the other celebrities that were there, they would make you stand in front of them a little bit, you know, and they'd stand behind you, and when they weren't taking the picture, they'd hold their masks over their nose and mouth, and then when they take the picture, they pull it down real quick and put it back up. Corey didn't have no mask on, and he grabbed us up and was just hugging all over us.
That's awesome, but why did they all do that?
I guess fears of Rona.
Oh, well, you know, I get it. But that is cool that he was like, man, fuck all that, and he just grabbed you all over. That's cool. All right.
Yeah, I about shit my pants, but yeah.
Well, do I have a solution for you?
Cultural.
And it's Jamie Lee Curtis's choice. Not really. I have a feeling I've sang on every single episode at one point or another at this point. So, you guys, look me up on iTunes. The song is called Culturel featuring Jamie Lee Curtis and Corey Taylor. And Crystal and Amanda. All right.
I'm your backup.
So, Crystal, I want you to go ahead and just take over here. Start with your first story, and then after your first story, we are going to take a small break. During our breaks, we usually just kind of take a break, and then we reconvene and go through the rest of it. So,
do you want my first story to be the house I was telling you about?
It'll be whatever you want, girl, because this is all about you.
Okay, well, before I got into ghost hunting and was really into it, my parents had moved down to Austin like for a year, and I would go every weekend to go see them. And every time I got into Hillsboro, this house on a hill would always catch my attention. And I'd no matter where I was and what I was doing, I'd always turn and look at it like it called me. And so one day when I was coming back from Austin back here, I had my ex with me, and I'm like, hey, let's go see if we can find this place. And we drove up there and found the way in. And I jumped the fence and went in the house, and my ex stayed outside. I don't know why, but she stayed outside.
Right.
And so anyway, I walk in, and I immediately go upstairs because it's like 3 floors. And I go all the way upstairs, and then there's a big hole in the ceiling. And I just stood up there and looked, and I could see something black just darting back and forth and all around in there. And then this is the weirdest thing. Like, this part, I'm fixing to tell y'all, I don't remember it happening. This is what my ex told me. She said that after about 15 to 20 minutes, she didn't see me come out, so she like looked up and saw me in one of the windows staring at her, and she said that it was not me. It didn't look like me. Ooh. And so she came inside, and she said that when she got to the stairs to start coming up to me, I was coming down the stairs, and I had a big old piece of broken glass in my hand. And And she said that she thought I was going to go after her, but then I turned it on myself, and she had to sit there and beg and beg and beg me, you know, snap out of it, Crystal, snap out of it. And finally, you know, I did snap out of it, and she's like, what happened? And I took her upstairs, and she started looking up there. She's like, oh my God, what is that moving around? And I'm like, I don't know. And then we both got freaked out and we left. So the next weekend I went back out there. The house is completely burnt down. None of the ground around it or any of the trees or anything like that was burned. It was just the house.
That's fucking wild. I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, and then like 3 different times in the week afterward, I had a dream about a little girl, a mother, and her grandmother being murdered in that house.
So we need to find out the address or the location of that place. I know you told me about this the other day, and I was like, don't tell me all about it because I want you to talk about it in our episode. But I do want to kind of go investigate this place one day, even if it's not like the house isn't there. I just want to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a story behind it though?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I want to
know now.
Yeah. So we just gotta. So you said this was where? What was the city?
Like right as you're going into Hillsboro. Like
okay.
Austin.
Guys, this is in Texas. In case y'all don't know. Cool.
Can't you tell from the accents?
Oh man, people love our accent, and if they don't, they can go fuck themselves. Okay,
do I have an accent? I don't think I have an accent. Do I have an accent?
Remember, Lindsay Hayes. You know Hayes, the girl that makes our art. She was like, she has a mixture of like Dallas and Midwestern.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
And then somebody told me that I sounded like shit. So, like, you know, that's fun.
That was nice.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I love it when people give me compliments. It's great.
You threw me. Again, you threw me. You do not sound like shit.
I know.
I wouldn't talk to you if you did.
Why'd you talk to me now?
Well, I would probably be actually more apt to talk to you like that.
Oh, I love you too.
I would just laugh at you nonstop. I don't know how much.
Crystal, I'm so sorry that you're having to be subject to this.
No problem.
So, all right, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we're going to come back with Crystal's story. Or with the Crystal's story. She already told one, but she's got a couple more. So, yeah, awesome. We will be right back.
Hey, creepy people. This is PNW Haunts and Homicides. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Cassie.
Together, we explore stories of the paranormal and true crime throughout the Pacific Northwest. We're just 2 normal-ish friends who wanted more creepy, local stories. Our episodes start with a tarot reading to help us gain some insight on each topic as we share the facts of the case and our interpretations.
Come join us. We've got plenty of wine, laughs, and stories to share.
You can find our episodes featuring true stories from infamous as well as lesser-known true crime cases, like the murders in Tunnel 13 and Forest Park.
As well as our spooky stories from Pike Place in the Oregon Vortex on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Stitcher, and many more.
For all of you that are listening, if you have any true crime or paranormal stories that you want us to share, maybe with the whole Pacific Northwest, they don't have to be from the Pacific Northwest if you would like to share. Email us at pnwhauntsandhomicides@gmail.com. It's all spelled out, no special characters.
Last but certainly not least, head over to Patreon to support the show, and we can provide even more creepy content. Have a creepy ass day.
Hey, so we're back. We're back, Nee.
Oh, I'm waving.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to tell you guys. So did y'all see the video I posted about my daughter?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a natural Wednesday Addams. So you can tell that I raised that kid. Because she was singing, don't worry, be happy. You know that song? She was like, don't worry, be sad. I was like, that's pretty morbid of you, Anna. And then she's like, don't worry, be sad. So I'm just like, okay, I will be sad then. Don't worry, be sad. All right, Crystal. So this isn't about my daughter, who's beautiful and precious. This is about you, girl. So let's go ahead and continue on with some of the instances that you've gone through.
Okay. Oh, you wanted me to tell you like the backstory of the EVP, right?
Yes. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, there's a town here in Texas. It's called Jefferson, Texas.
Okay.
And they've got like the old like Victorian houses that they've turned into bed and breakfast, and like the whole town is known for paranormal. And so one of the teams I was on, we go out there, like they have several teams that go out there, and these people pay that are not ghost hunters, but they pay to go to several different locations, and then there's a different paranormal team in each one.
Right.
And so we kind of train them, let them use our equipment, that kind of stuff, you know?
Right.
And so we were upstairs, and it was called the Old Con Saloon, but they've torn it down and rebuilt it since then. But we were all sitting upstairs in a big room, and one of the ovulas or something, it said Veronica or something like that, some kind of name like that. And the lady's like, Veronica? Well, who said Veronica? And then I got that breathy, I did.
Yeah.
And I mean, the recorder was sitting on my knee, and I didn't even know that I'd had that on there till I got back home and I started listening through it.
Wow. So
Yeah.
at this point, I'm going to insert that sound clip again in case people have missed the episode that had that on there. Because I really want everybody to be able to experience that.
Veronica? Who said Veronica?
That shit was wild. Did y'all ever find any background about somebody named Veronica?
No.
Wow. So, and do you have the address and location of that place as well?
It's in Jefferson, Texas. I don't know the exact address, but I could probably get it.
Yeah, if you can get that, and then I'm going to go investigate that shit myself. I want to know the history. So
yeah, well, they like I said, they refurbished it and built it up, and now there's like you can rent like hotel rooms upstairs and stuff. So I mean, it won't be the same at all.
Right.
And I don't think they allow any investigations there anymore either.
Oh no, I'm just going to research it. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know who Veronica is.
Right.
Wouldn't that be wild if, like, you know, you went and researched it and you were like, holy shit. And it was like somebody named Veronica had lived there and had passed on in that residence. Like, that would be wild.
You never know.
You never know. Wow. What other like, have you ever had anything happen to you, like, with graveyards? Have you been to the Baker Hotel?
I have not been in the Baker Hotel, but I've hung around the Baker Hotel. I will tell you that we used to go and investigate. It was called the Crazy Water Saloon, which is kind of right around the street from the Baker Hotel.
Yeah.
The caretaker let us in, and he forgot to go and tell the cops that he let a paranormal team go in. So we had the cops saw all these flashlights running around and stuff, and they thought somebody had broke in. So we went and ran out there and asked them, you know, and they had to find the guy, and then he had to call the manager or the owner of the property just to get it verified that we were supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And while we were sitting outside, we started talking to one of the police officers, and we're like, hey, have you ever had anything weird happen, you know, over at the Baker? And he's like, well, I mean, not really. Most of it can be chalked up to, like, people just, like, sneaking in and stuff like that. He said, but one time he was talking to one of his co-workers, and they were standing out there, and they happened to look up, and when they did, they saw a candlelight in one of the windows.
Yeah.
And I'd been around the Baker Hotel like 1,000 times, never seen it. And I kid you, that night when we left, we drove by the Baker Hotel, and I yelled at my friend Kelly. I'm like, stop! She's like, what? And I'm like, look. And there was like a little candle sitting in the window.
What year was this?
It might have been about 5 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, I remember you were kind of telling me about this, and I was like, how much you want to bet that was me? But no, it wasn't. It wasn't me, because this is more like 20 years ago when I...
No, it was like 3 to 5 years ago when that happened.
Yeah, wow. Oh. This shit's crazy. I always wonder if something like truly malevolent has happened in the Baker Hotel that nobody is like wanting to talk about.
It's possible.
Like a murder, you know?
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean, the gangsters used to hang out there.
Yeah, all kinds of like well-known people and gangsters.
Yeah.
Have hung out there. I wonder if Jamie Lee Curtis...
if she eats her culturelle there.
Dude, I wonder if she has an Activia gang sign. That would be crazy. Activia! Quick little side note. I went on Twitter because I was really excited about this episode, and I gotta find it. But I basically went. I can't find it right now because I don't know. But I went on Twitter and I said something to... Actually, let me find it real quick. Twitter. Where are you? Tonight, Amanda and I and our guests have had a lengthy discussion about culturelle. It's for bougie butts.
Is that right?
I'm telling you guys, this has been a really fun episode. And we're not even done, are we, Crystal?
Nope.
Nope.
Not even close.
What other instances have you gone through that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, I've been to the Yorktown Memorial Hospital.
I think I've heard about this.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I talked about Yorktown to you yet.
No, but I think I've heard it elsewhere.
Oh, yeah. Like Ghost Adventures has gone down there, and then there's a couple other paranormal TV shows that's gone down there. So,
and is this also in Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's in Yorktown, Texas.
So what's happened?
Okay, well, the weirdest thing, we had just gotten an SLS camera, which uses the kinetic gain, lasers, so it forms bodies, like stick figures or whatever. You know what I'm talking
I've seen those. Yes.
Yeah. We had just gotten one, and I kid you not, we were in this downstairs. You remember me showing you that picture of me in that cage? You just see the eye? Okay.
Oh my God, that shit creeped me the fuck out.
Well, that was down there, and the story supposedly is that a nurse and the patient were having an affair, and the nurse was with one of the doctors, in a relationship. So they'd go down in the basement and they'd mess around. Well, he found out, and he went down there and he shot and killed the guy. And I don't think he killed his old lady, but he killed the guy. And then I think he killed himself.
Wow.
But on that SLS camera, we were down there in the room where supposedly it happens, and two figures pop up, and it really looks like they're fucking.
I'm not laughing. I mean, okay, I'm laughing, but what?
It was just like they were almost connected, intertwined together, and just bumping.
So ghost porn.
Pretty much.
That's fucking wild. Pornhub. No, I'm kidding. Don't sponsor us. We don't want you. But shit.
It was pretty cool. It was funny.
Do you have this picture?
Of the SLS?
Yes, of the ghost fucking.
I do not, but my old team member may have it.
Oh my gosh.
I want to get her on your show too.
Okay. We have to get that picture because I want to put it on Instagram.
Okay. I think she probably has it.
Oh my gosh. That's cool.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see some ghost porn.
I mean, it's just two sticks just looking like they're bumped.
Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that website, stickdeath.com?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Last week we talked about salad fingers, and we didn't even talk about Charlie the Unicorn, which I don't know why I even brought that up in our show notes for last week, but we did talk about Foamy the Squirrel, and now I'm bringing up Stick Death, and I am really showing my age here. But you know what? Stick Death was the business, and now we're talking about Stick Death porn. Kind of. Shit's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild. Do you remember Stick Death?
No, I don't.
But you remember, like, salad fingers and all that, right?
I know, I know salad fingers.
Dude, I cannot believe if you knew who salad fingers was, you don't remember Stick Death. There was that, and then there was board.com. I mean, this is all, like, pre-MySpace. This is like the Zanga days.
I was like into Happy Tree Friends.
Yes, that was around the same time. Did you ever get into Zanga?
No.
Or Yahoo GeoCities?
Oh.
No, I was mostly outside.
Man,
I was more skated to it.
So let's I want to ask your opinion about something, and if you don't have an opinion or whatever, we'll just slide on to the next thing. Did you ever, back like 10 years ago, I think I like very briefly brought this up in another episode. I used to look on 2009, 2010 YouTube, and I used to look up some what they call conspiracy theory videos just to creep myself out late at night. And there's this one that they had a conspiracy theory about where it was kind of like a stop animation cartoon, and it was really creepy, and it basically talks about somebody going to hell. Do you know at all what I'm talking about?
No clue.
Okay, well, then let's just skate on by.
Worth a try.
Whatever. Yeah, but seriously, I just wish that other people had known what I was talking about, because like some of the shit that I saw back in like 2009, 2010, I would literally be up for hours all night long watching conspiracy theory videos on YouTube, and that shit was scary. Like, you see that shit now and you're just like, that's fucking weak. You look it up like back in 2009 or 2010, and it gives you the same vibes as like that one video you were talking about in the last episode about Loey Bug. She was talking about that AVI dot whatever.
Yeah.
It's called, what was it called? Soup Wall or something weird like that?
Yeah, it's the guy eating the soup. What is that called?
But you know what I'm talking about. It gives you those conspiracy videos give you that same kind of feeling. It's like really like inwardly creepy, where you're like, I don't know if I feel clean right now. Like, it's weird. Oh, that shit was weird. If I happen to find some of those videos, I will share them with y'all one day randomly just to scare the shit out of you.
Do it.
Yeah. You're welcome. So, anyway. All right, Crystal, I'm sorry. I know this is your episode. I keep taking over, and I'm not trying to do that.
It's all good. It's all good.
So you have any other instances?
A lot.
You have a lot?
Yeah.
Go into another one. Why not?
Okay. Myrtle's Plantation, Louisiana.
Oh, an out of Texas one. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Hear it.
Well, there's a supposedly way back in like the slave days or whatever, there was a girl named Chloe that would come and take care of the guy and the lady and their 3 kids on this property.
Yeah.
And like the girls started getting older, so Chloe was thinking, you know, well, since they're getting older, they're not going to need me anymore. They're going to put me out in the field to work.
Right.
And she didn't want that, so she got oleander or something like that, and she put a little bit of it in a cake and baked the cake and fed it to them. And the kids ended up getting really sick, but then they ended up dying. And the husband and the wife hung Chloe in a tree out there.
Wow.
And so when we went out there, there's a part of the porch, it's like a wraparound porch around this plantation, and we had a flashlights sitting down, and then we also had like the K2 meters which light up, and we had all that like sitting down, and we started talking to the little kids, and they actually started communicating with us through like the flashlight and the K2. Yeah, we tell them like the K2, it goes from like green, yellow, and red, and like it would start like just like going to a different color or whatever, and then we'd actually say, can you let it sit there instead of flashing back, just let it sit at that color. Like it was doing it. Those little kids were playing with that stuff big time.
Oh wow.
Wow, I've seen shit like that. I wonder if that was you posting about. Did you ever post about that?
I don't know. I know I've posted a picture of me with the famous mirror. They have like a famous mirror there.
I think I did see that. Maybe on the flashlight thing, I think I'm thinking of Brian from Spokane Ghost Crew. Which, by the way, you know, I'm gonna talk him up real quick. Crystal, at some point, I would really like for you to get in touch with him because he's also gonna be a guest on our show here in November.
What's his name?
His name is Brian James, and he runs Spokane Ghost Crew. He's over in, you know, Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
We actually created a little promo for him because he's not a podcaster yet. He's planning on starting a podcast, but you know, they do their paranormal investigations and whatnot, free of charge, and they also love to communicate with other paranormal investigators. So I would definitely look into him, and y'all could trade stories as well. But he's a very nice guy. So
okay,
yeah. But yeah, I think he had posted something very similar where he had somebody messing with a flashlight also. But what breaks my heart is about your story is that whole, like, that's just an unfortunate situation all around where those kids ended up passing away because from what it seems to me, she made a innocent mistake putting, you know,
she put too much.
Yeah, oleander, and then she got hung, and that's sad.
It is.
Ghost, anything that has to do with the paranormal, it's always creepy and it gives you the chills and everything. But when it's after a sad story, that's just kind of like an unfortunate, remarkable but unfortunate type of, you know, instance that happens. So I bet that was kind of like a weird mix of feelings for you guys, huh?
Yeah, it's like wow, but then it's like sad, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just heartbroken knowing that there's little kids there.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh.
I don't want to spoil anything, but Amanda, you were planning on doing I don't know how to say it, that Bexar, how do you say it?
Bexar?
Bexar, is that how you say it?
I have no idea.
That county hospital. Have you ever been there, Crystal?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is it the Bexar word?
Yeah. It's weird. We've all been here all our lives and we don't know how to spell Bexar. Or say Bear. I think some people call it Bear County. Bear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's because you don't pronounce it like Bexar. But I don't know how to pronounce it.
I just don't think bear needs an X in it, but anyway. Wow, I just thought of the joke that I'm sure you guys thought about too. Wow. Hey, to all my bears, don't do your X. You don't need an X inside of you. Just don't do it. Anyway, but yeah, Amanda's going to be covering that at some point, but that was a paranormal one. I was curious as to whether you've been there. So, crazy shit.
Oh, nothing really happened, or not there, but this other one I'm fixing to say. It's cool, but really nothing had happened. But if y'all have heard of the Lexington, it's a big battleship. It's out in Corpus Christi. Well, the team I was on, we got to like investigate that thing all night, just us.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, not much really happened because, you know, there's all the sounds of the waves hitting the boat and stuff like that, so you can't really tell if it was paranormal or not, you know.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
So here's what I propose. I think that Amanda, you and me should all like go on a journey one day and record it.
Okay.
Would you be down? Would you be down?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to plan for like maybe after 2022 starts because guess what? Crystal and I work a job where we get something called fucking mandatory overtime. and we're not allowed to put in a vacation until after Christmas is over. So that's fun. But that's fine because I have been using up all my vacation to either come home and care for my mom or my daughter, or just because I felt like it. So, you know, I have no time until October 1st, and that's great. So, yeah. Well, Crystal, do you have any other stories, or do you want me to tell you about something that's happened to me real quick, or what's up?
Yeah, let's hear what you got to say.
Okay, I had something and it totally slipped my mind. I have a couple. I've had a lot of shit happen to me in my life. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna throw y'all a curveball. Maybe you can explain this for me, okay? When I was really little, I had something in the 3rd grade called viral meningitis, or maybe it was bacterial. It was bacterial meningitis.
My cousin had that.
Well, back then, this was not very well known. They for the longest time couldn't figure out what the fuck was wrong with me. They swear that I came out of this because I was in a coma for almost 2 weeks. They said that I literally died and came back. Prior to all this, I do remember that I had welts all over my arms and my legs, and a lot of them were on the left side of my body, and there were just these scabs that were just showing up out of nowhere. I have a scar on my elbow, and I have a scar on my left ankle. I remember going into the bathroom because my mom was worried about me, and she was putting me in the bathtub to try to cool me down because I had a fever. I was also pale, and I remember looking in the mirror thinking that I looked like pantyhose. And I know that sounds funny, but that's how pale I was. Like, I just had no color.
Yeah.
I remember then that she puts me in the room, in her room, because I felt more comfortable laying in her bed. And I was looking up at the mirror above me, because, you know, they had a mirror on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I kept just looking at myself, and my sister walked in, and she screamed. And she said later that my eyes were rolled in the back of my head. And I kept saying, I see myself in the mirror. There was no mirror. They really didn't have a mirror on the ceiling.
Oh, no.
Do you all see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Out of body?
Yeah, I was having an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to bring that out. I ended up, obviously, I came out of it okay, because, you know, that was, you know, I mean, I'm 39 almost now. That was back when I was, like, 10. So, obviously, I didn't die. I'm alive. But,
really?
Well, I'm a little translucent.
You did say. You technically.
They did say I died and came back. Like, I died and then came back alive. So, I guess I died a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So let me ask you, since you died a little bit, are you more sensitive to things now, paranormal-wise?
I have been actually since before even that. So what I was getting at was, I would say I'm a little bit more sensitive, but also a little less so, because they swear up and down that I said that I saw something on the other side. I frankly do not remember at all. So I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if I told a white lie. Being in the 3rd grade at the time, I don't remember seeing anything. What I remember is I remember all of that, and then I remember my dad rushing me to the hospital. I remember sitting in the hospital room, and then I remember waking up to all these computers and shit around me. That's it. I remember having a dream that my neighbor was my nurse. So apparently I was in a coma for 2 weeks, and I don't remember anything that happened from point A to point B. I do know that prior to this, I used to have these spells where I would look at like a corner in my room, and the next thing I knew, I was in that corner. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It was like I was still laying in the bed, but I had flown into the corner. It was weird. And I used to start doing it on purpose. And then after that had happened, I stopped being able to do that. I also know that I've had dreams all my life where it wasn't just paranormal. It was paranormal as fuck, but it was sleep paralysis. But it was also things like inanimate objects would always get to me. Like my mom used to have this like 1980s yellow Conair hairdryer, and for whatever reason, I always dreamed that it would come to life and try to attack me. But there was another one where, what the hell? How do you want to open this file? I don't want to open any kind of file. I want to continue with what we're doing. There was another instance where I would have dreams where a light bulb, every time I would go closer to this light bulb, it would start to dim out. And I would be worried that if the light bulb dimmed completely out, that I would die. And that one with the light bulb, I've had all my life. It's a recurring dream about some light bulb dimming out. So I don't know what that's all about, but it's always super fucking scary to me. And I always have to try to force myself awake. And it's always before I have like a sleep paralysis episode is when I see these light bulbs. I do know that, Crystal, I told you a little bit about what I've been through in my past. Mm-hmm. We won't get too much into the details of all that, but I will say that I was doing music around this time. And, I used to practice a weird form of magic, and I would implement that form of magic into the songs that I did. And I do know that I must have really pissed something off, because there was this one song that I did that after we recorded it, it would not, we would record it and it would be on a CD. It would never play okay in most CD players. And at one point, we put it in a DVD player to see if we can listen to it. We got through half of it, and then all of a sudden, all the lights started flickering in and out, and it kept skipping over one particular part, and I don't remember what it would say, but it was like a specific word that it kept skipping over. Like, it made sense at the time, but again, I don't remember what it was. Yeah. So I've had a lot of weird shit happen to me. There's another thing that's happened to me, but the thing is I have submitted it as a listener tale to the Keep It Weird podcast, so I'm going to let them go and tell that one for me, because I have actually submitted that same story twice to another podcast who straight up fucking ignored it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're not going to mention that podcast, but I did submit it to Keep It Weird, and they were like, oh my gosh, we're going to read that on our next listener tale, so I think that's going to be Halloween. I'm not sure. Awesome. But that's a pretty cool one. But anyways, that's what I've got. I have a hell of a lot more things that have happened to me all my fucking life, as recent as like a couple of months ago. And even like yesterday, I've seen shadows and stuff. But,
do you see stuff at work? I have several people that tell me they see stuff at work.
I haven't seen shit well, actually, no. Actually, I have. But I can't go into it without revealing where I work, so I'll tell you about that another time. But I have seen something that was actually as recent as like a week ago. It was, I'll tell you, it was one of those times where I was able to come outside and hang out with you guys. It was one of those days.
Wow.
So it was during that path that I was working that day. So, but we'll talk about it off air. It's all good. Well, I guess that's all we've got. Real quick, I want to give some shout outs out. Are y'all good? Or Crystal, did you have anything else?
I mean, I do, but we can wait and do it like another episode.
I'm definitely wanting to have you on again. I mean, I can't speak for Amanda ever, but I've had so much fucking fun.
I liked it.
I think you have been our funnest episode. I mean, I always have fun with Amanda. I love Amanda, and we have. Hey,
she can't even say dick.
Hey, you know what? Spoiler alert! But she did say dick in the last episode.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She did.
I did. Yeah. I said it.
Amanda, will you give Crystal the gift of you saying dick for this episode?
I want the F word.
Fucking dick.
Yay!
There y'all go.
We're going to get a lot of listeners that are like, oh my God, they fucking cuss a lot. We shouldn't listen to them. And I'm sitting here cheering you on. She said fucking dick. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it again.
No, Crystal, I've had so much fun with you on this podcast. I'm just being real with you. We are definitely having you on again.
Okay.
So, I'm glad that you were willing to get on here with us. Before I shout out some podcasts, do you have anything that you would like to say? Like, do you have any kind of like page or anything that you would like for people to start following? Do you have anything to plug? A business? Anything?
No.
Well, you know what? You need to start yourself a paranormal investigator business.
Well, I was on a team, but like once COVID came about, like the people were real weird about letting us in their house because we mainly did like private residences. Yeah. So I haven't really done anything with them. But one of my other teammates that I used to be on her team got back in touch with me here like about a week ago, and I'm going to start doing some investigating with them again.
Okay. So, well, if you have information, go ahead and plug it real quick so that way people know where to go.
Or the group she has is North Texas Haunt Jaunt.
I'm going to go follow that right now through our podcast. Actually, send me a message that says that, and then I'll go look it up and we'll follow it that way. Did somebody?
What did you say? Because you like froze up.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I do that because I'm translucent and dead. Will you send me that in a message so that way I know what to look for when I go follow it? Because we're going to go follow it.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. And then I'm also going to plug it in the Instagram. Also, I'm hoping that you'll send me some pictures so that way we have something to reference when people look at our Instagram, because we like to put our show notes and things like that on the Instagram. And then, what else was I going to say? So you have that to plug. If you have anything else to plug, just let me know and we will add that as well. Real quick, I'm going to shout out a couple of podcasts. The first one I want to shout out is Reverie True Crime. The woman that is running that podcast, her name is Paige, and she has a wonderful Southern Mississippi accent that just soothes my soul like I was drinking warm honey caramel apple cider underneath a fall autumn oak tree. It just, you know how whenever you are in the fall and you just, in the fall, God, we call it fall because leaves fall down, but you know, like, you know how like during the fall you're like, you got that little bite of cold and you just want to feel really good, and you drink like something like apple cider or like hot chocolate or something like that, and you just feel it just kind of warms your soul from your body to your toes and all that. That's what her voice does to me.
It's a nice
voice. Paige, you are a warm cup of caramel apple pie cider. Okay, so we love you, Paige, from Reverie True Crime. Another one that I wanted to shout out real quick is called Coffin Cast. They're just awesome. They dive into dark films, video games, and other parts of the media, and she identifies as she, her. I had to pull that up from Twitter because I actually just started talking to her today. We kind of identified with each other on several different things. Not going to get into it, but she's fucking awesome. And I'm really excited that she dives into dark films and video games because I personally love me a dark film. But I also would like to hear her input and thoughts about Final Fantasy VII. Because I love Final Fantasy VII. And I feel like both of y'all, if y'all have not gotten into it, need to get into it. Especially you, Crystal. I know you would love that game. So Coffin Cast.
And I do want to give Fandom Family Chats a shout out.
I know. Well,
we haven't in a while. And we are going to be doing a special Halloween episode.
I got to listen to that.
We're going to be covering the little short series that just came out, Fear Streets.
Okay, I've really got to listen to that one now because you know what? Another podcast covered that, and I know that Family Fandom Chats is going to do that some fucking justice. So, yes,
very excited.
That's a great shout out, man. I am so sorry, Fandom Family Chats. I have not had any kind of an affair on you. I still love you. Listen, life has been getting in the way, man, and sometimes, you know, you just forget some shit, especially if you have ADD like me. So, Fandom Family Chats times about 20. From my shout out perspective. And one more that I do need to shout out though, okay, is called True Crime with Thelma and Louise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We love them. I've actually been talking a lot with the person that identifies herself with Thelma. They are a new podcast, but they're primarily on YouTube. And she is just like the sweetest person. She is the sweetest person. So you'll actually hear her in our promo for tonight's episode. And that's all I got for today. Well, also, I'm always going to just shout out, Keep It Weird. Because we love Keep It Weird. Ashley and Lauren, you guys are fucking goals. That's all I got to say. And that's it. All right, so, couple other things. I am sorry. Crystal, would you do us the honor of shouting out our Apple Podcast winners? You know what, before you do that, I got a bone to pick with all of our listeners. We did not get more than like 11 ratings and reviews. Okay? So if you did not win this contest, then you probably missed out. So we'll have another contest again, but just be warned that you must participate to win. So Crystal, who are our winners?
All right, we got a Stacy Thompson and Brenda Mitchell.
Yay!
Congratulations, you two.
Congrats, girls.
You want me to tell them the rest of it?
Yeah, I was going to ask what they need to do because I don't know anything about what this podcast does.
Okay, you ladies that won, the big winners. Look, now I can't talk either because of y'all.
Hey, you know what? It's okay. We never edit anything out.
Oh, Lord. Okay. So, ladies, send Courtney a message, and whether you want a shirt, coffee mug, socks, or mask, make sure you send her your address and size. If applicable, you shall receive your merch by the end of October.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes. All right. Do we have any other news? Make sure you guys follow us on all the things. Make sure you guys send us a lot of love for Crystal, because Crystal Jones is big time fucking goals. So Crystal, we love you. You have been our first official guest. Thank you so much.
Yay!
No
Thank
problem.
you.
All right. Well, all right, to our audience. Oh, Amanda, do you have any news? Do you have a quote?
What? Why do you keep making this quote thing? Like, I just have quotes just coming out of my butt all the time.
Dude, it's like, listen, you are the cultural. Come on.
Okay, hold on. I can grab one. Ready?
Go for it.
Hold on. Oh no, I lost it. It's in my head. Nope. Because live, laugh, love just coming out, and that's not what I'm wanting to say at all.
You're supposed to start it out with, and I'm going to end this with a quote.
Okay, you know what? From next week on, I'm going to have a special quote prepared.
I got a quote for you. I'm kidding. I love you. Guys, you didn't see that I was flipping her off, but I'm just kidding. I love Amanda. I would never want to.
My eyes cannot see that.
That's how we say hello in Texas.
That's how we wave.
So basically, yeah, we say hello by flipping each other off, and then we flip each other off by saying, bless your heart. And that is the quote.
Mm. I gave up that secret on Fandom Family Chats not too long ago.
Wait, what?
I said I gave up that secret a while ago.
What secret?
The bless your heart.
Oh, you did?
Secret, yeah.
So the quote, Amanda, is, if we like you, we'll flip you off. If we don't, bless your heart. That will go on a t-shirt.
It needs to.
If we like you, bless your heart. Or no, not at all. If we like you, we're going to flip you off. If we don't, bless your heart. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. I really like our tagline, our ending, closing sign off, but I kind of want to change it now, but I'm not going to. So,
all right.
Speaking of, what's up?
Oh, I got a quote.
Go for it.
I got a quote. All right. This is the strangest life I've ever known.
Oh, wow. Who
there
said that? Gandhi?
Jim Morrison.
Okay. Why did I not know that? I know how much you love the Doors.
I don't know.
Okay. So that's a good quote, Amanda. Amanda is now tasked with having a quote for every episode.
I'm going to have and it's not going to be somebody that we're doing that episode over. It's going to be completely random, but it's either going to be a musician or it's going to be like a serial killer or like fictional or non-fictional. I don't know. I got to think. I got to put some thought into this.
That's totally
fine. If you guys
fine.
have ideas, tell me.
Crystal, do you have a quote?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Well. All
Don't
right,
be a dick and wear underwear.
My quote is, if you're bougie, use Culturelle for your booty. If your booty swole, put some Activia in your hole.
Ew.
That's it. Okay, Crystal, sign us off, girl.
All righty. Don't be a dick and wear deodorant.
That's right. That's a smart woman. All right, thank you guys. We love you. Make sure you listen to us on all the things or whatever. And okay, bye.
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 Thank you so much for listening to A Nefarious Nightmare. Music used in this podcast was created by Ghost Stories Incorporated. You can find their music on bandcamp.com. We do have social media. You can follow us at our Facebook page at A Nefarious Nightmare, or you can follow our Instagram, Nefarious Nightmare Pod. If you have any stories of paranormal instances that have happened to you or ideas for true crime, please email us at anefariousnightmare@gmail.com. Thank you very much and take care.